Because of all of those inequalities and the fact that they tend to be so highly correlated, we can talk about the group's power and prestige structure. Some people are influential, other people are not. Some people are thought to be very useful to the group, other people are not. So it's a combination of influence and perceived value. That's what I'm talking about when I say we're talking about a power and prestige group, a structure of the group. And it seems to be it's a single inequality structure. Power and prestige can be measured in a lot of ways. The easiest way to measure is how much they're talking, but you could do it by questionnaires or by interviewing them or a lot of other things. Whatever it is, it seems to be unidimensional. That is, there's only one structure there. And there's various components of the power and prestige structure. There's behavioral ones, like how much they talk, how much they praise each other. And there's attitudinal ones, who I think has the best ideas in the group. So what's happening then in groups that meet these scope conditions is they're developing a power and prestige structure. And I hope you'll remember the term power and prestige structure so we can talk about it later. What we want to explain is, what is it about interaction in task-focused, collectively oriented groups that impels them to develop a power and prestige structure? And once they develop it, to maintain it. Components of the inequality structure: participation rates, receipt rates, evaluations, influence, perceptions of ability, choices for leadership, perceived value to the group, and a lot of other things. Abstractly, meaning that's what we're looking to explain. Concretely, how often each person talks, you can talk about, count those, how often each person is talked to. When you hear people say good idea, bad idea, I agree, okay, your way sounds better, that means I've accepted influence from you. I still think my way is better, that means I'm rejecting influence from you. You tried to influence me, it didn't work. Perceptions of ability, choices for leadership, value to the group, all of those things. So those are the way we can see the power and prestige structure. I think it helps if you think about the group's job in terms of their main task and their subtasks. The main task is to solve the problem, whatever it is. If it's a jury, they've got to make a decision about guilt or non-guilt. If it's a committee, they've got to make a decision about how to get people to classes faster on campus. There's all kinds of things that they have to do, but whatever their main task is, to solve the group problem. And for that, everybody has to contribute because it's a collectively oriented group. But they don't have to contribute equally. In fact, you don't want them to contribute equally. You want the people who are useful to contribute a lot. The people who are not, you'd like them to be less participatory. Then they have a subtask. And the subtask is to benefit from valuable contributions. If you're in a group like this, and you know not everybody can talk all the time, what you really want to do is to figure out who's going to be useful when he talks and who's going to be useless or worse when they don't. You don't want to waste time, you don't want to be misled, but you do want to benefit from whoever knows how to do it. So it's as though people probably don't consciously say, I've got to figure out who's useful here, but they very quickly realize we've got to solve this problem at some point so we can go home. And one of the things I need to figure out is who can get us to the answer quickly and who's going to waste time. And they have an interactional task, which is to encourage some people to discourage other people. And you've got to maintain a certain amount of solidarity, meaning you have to be careful not to antagonize people so much that they withdraw psychologically or physically. That's actually not as big a problem as it might seem like, but it's always there. If they can do this, the group functions efficiently. Remember the study of boards of directors where the researchers found that boards of directors could make decisions more quickly and make better decisions if they developed an inequality structure. Because when they were all equal in power and prestige, the group just argued and wasted time. So sometimes at the very beginning, you see what Bales called a status struggle. You have a discussion group. You put together a bunch of competitive students. Everybody's trying to talk a lot. Okay, that's what happens in the first few minutes. Eventually, they work it out. So the subtask, the interactional task, are what produce the power and prestige structure.